All right, hello. Hello. Welcome back, everybody. Here we are at Impact Gaming Center for Thursday's Riftbound Nexus Nights. Coming at you round one from table 7. We got Ed playing some Lucian and an old stream familiar Dakota playing Irelia. Yeah, I had some Irelia requests last week and in the YouTube comments, so here Irelia is. Still getting reaccustomed here. We got Forge of the what is it? Forge of the Tough, Forge of the Fluff, or something. While you control this battlefield, friendly legends have spend to attach an equipment you control to a unit you control. And then we got everybody's old familiar there up top for our second battlefield. So Ed's going to get us started here. But yeah, just like last week, we're going to be trying to get as many new legends on the screen as we can. I've got a few people on Ornn, so we're definitely going to get him round 2, I think, regardless of record. The shop's old Fred Brennan, who is not unfamiliar to the stream either, finally got his Ornn together, so we'll probably have him on next round, win or lose. But we've got a sneaky deckhand coming down from Dakota, bumped him up to 1. As we move back over to Ed. But thank you, everybody, for joining us. Those of you already streaming in on Twitch. I'm a regular Riftbound host, Art, here in the booth from Impact Gaming Center, home of all your gaming needs here in the Midwest. Fairview Heights, Illinois, 15 minutes from downtown St. Louis. You can check us out at impactgamingcenter.gg. Carry just about everything you could be looking for. Ed's turn brought down a Kaisa before passing back over to Dakota, who's going to hold and go to 2. Pulling the sneaky deckhand back. Looks like a GA might be coming down. GA it is. Kind of not so fast in hand. This is only week 2 of Spiritforged here in the shop for sanctioned play, so I'm still going to be a little shaky on some of these cards, but I've been trying to do some homework. So we'll be getting a little better week by week, but there's still going to be lots of what is that? Especially for a couple of these legends I haven't looked super deep into, like Lucian. As everybody knows from our Origins days, red and orange are not my colors. They're definitely the colors I am least familiar with. But here she comes. Going to bump Ed up to 1 on that uncontested conquer. But I hope everybody's having a great Thursday. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us already. If you like seeing Riftbound content, don't forget to toss us a follow at some point tonight. Bringing this Riftbound content every single Thursday. Looks like we're floating 1, so probably going to have a seal come down, maybe. Oh, nope, just going to equip, I guess. Thinking about it anyway. Thinking about it, unthinking about it. Defiant Dance, I believe. Yep. Defiant Dance. Reaction speed, give a unit +2 this turn and another unit -2 this turn. That's an orange Poro. Boy, that is one I don't know. Like I said, boy, those orange cards. See if I can find him real quick. Oops, messing up our thing here. Whoop, there we go. As a veteran Poro, oh, he just has Weapon Master, sure. And the longsword onto Kaisa. I believe longsword's +2, so I think we're 4-4 right now. Yeah, longsword is +2. Hard bargain. Let's get all the new cards in this interaction. Hard bargain is the counter, the 2 mana days repeatable. Goodness, this chain never ends. The punch first will do it. Win that showdown. Punch first makes that Kaisa very big. Really, Ed didn't have to spend too many resources on that exchange. Still sitting at 5 runes now on his turn. Got a Lucian in hand, another Kaisa. And of course, did hold and go to 2. Four. 5 and 1. Accelerate out another Kaisa. Move to take the Dreaming Tree. Probably going to be uncontested. Yep. So it's going to move to 3. And trigger the Kaisa. See what Dakota can do to answer back here. Ed is tapped out. So Dakota has a window here. Sneaky Deckhand's feeling a lot worse in hand, though, with Kaisa's controlling both battlefields. Oh, it's a fight or flight. I thought that was another Sneaky Deckhand in hand there. Oh, it is. There is. No, wait. Oh my gosh, it's hard to see blue player's hands. Yeah, it is. It is another Sneaky Deckhand in there. Okay. Irelia Champ comes down. Is Irelia Fervent. She has Deflect when you choose her ready or give her +1 this turn. She has +2. Chosen and readied. Moves in. Makes quick work of the Kaisa. And a fighter flighter. Ready to move back. Looks like she's going to be mopping up some Kaises. That was a pretty nice line. Yes, the 1K, the Riftbound 1K will be streamed. I will be here with you in the booth. Quick turnaround on that turn. Very swingy game so far. Spells I'm pretty good on. The new units, not so much. That is Ruin Runner, which is just a 5-drop for 6 hexproof. Did I say 5-drop for 6? I meant 6-drop for 5 might hexproof. Really is going to keep doing her little dance before passing back to Ed, who's going to ready up. See if he can get something done here. That Irelia, that green Irelia is kind of online here. And she threatens a whole lot of might every turn. Time for Ed's champ to come down, looks like. That is Lucian Merciless. OBS would cooperate with me. So Weapon Master, first time he conquers each turn, ready me. Looks like Ed's got a Trinity Force in there, another Poro. Just going to send the Hexproof boy in by himself. Pull him up real quick. There he is, Ruin Runner. Comes the Weapon Master Poro again. I don't know what that card is. What is that guy? The foiling makes it particularly hard to see. Not sure. Orange is still rough for me. Doesn't help it's upside down and foil. Coda thinking about what to do here. All the runes in the world. Defiant Dance in hand. Looks like maybe a Discipline in hand. I'm going to go ahead and Discipline. Trigger the Dreaming Tree, resolve the Discipline, so draw 2. Use Irelia's ability. So we got some Swifties and some Ride the Wind in the hand. Yep, we go to 7. And I think we're going to see the close here. So we're about to see some ganking happen here. Ganking or Ride the Wind, either way. Ed is tapped out. Not a thing you can do about it. Swifties. Equip. Gank. Go to 8. A couple different ways to do this here. Kaboom. Yep, Ed's going to scoop it up there. Dakota with pretty dominant showing there on Irelia. That green Irelia, once she's online, is ugly. Oh, that's why. It's foiled, so it looked like it was orange, but that card is red. That'll probably help me find it. I say, still not being able to find it. What in the world is that? Wait, is that a Brendheld? Yeah, it is a Bryn here. Yep. I was so locked into the Spiritforged mindset. I was just like, I don't know what that Spiritforged card is, forgetting that it is in fact an Origins card. And not one I'm used to seeing people play main board. Not to say it's wrong, but was not my brain was not even in that lane. But 2 players are gonna sideboard up now. How we doing, everybody? Hello, hello, hello. Well, these players sideboard up. This is your reminder that I am Art with you here in the booth at Impact Gaming Center. 15 minutes from downtown St. Louis for all your gaming needs. If you like seeing Riftbound paper content, make sure to toss us a follow. We are here every single Thursday at 6 p.m. Central, bringing you 3 rounds of Riftbound. A week from Saturday, we will be streaming our 1K Riftbound event as well. We already have a lot of pre-regs for that. I expect it to be a pretty big tournament. So that'll be exciting. That'll be a full day of Riftbound. So make sure to toss us a follow to keep up with that as well. And more broadly, if you haven't been in before, you're from the Midwest, come check us out sometime. Like I said, we're very close to St. Louis. Definitely worth coming in and checking out our store once to see what we're all about. Over 20,000 square feet. Carry just about every TCG, miniature game, and board game you can think of. All at very competitive prices. The TCG Player, Amazon, Miniature Market, all the big players. And if you're not from the area and you want to check us out anyway, you can check us out online at impactgamingcenter.gg. where you can browse pretty much our full store inventory, and we ship almost anywhere in the world. So we'd appreciate your business. Come check us out if you have the chance. You can also see our events page on that website where you can see all the stuff we run every single night. We run multiple events every night in the store, whether it's various TCGs, Warhammer 40K, Age of Sigmar, other miniature games. We have open board game nights. We have players playing Commander here almost every single night. For the first time in a long time, there's not a 40K game going on in the background of the blue player there behind Ed. Normally you would see 40K players there, but none yet. Not to say there won't be in rounds to come. And if you do like other games and you like watching our stream, you can check out Pokemon that we stream every single Tuesday and Magic Modern that we stream every Friday. So always trying to bring you guys content. Appreciate any likes, follows, subscribes you want to give us for those efforts. Lets the powers that be know that we should keep doing it. But otherwise, it looks like our players are just about done sideboarding, so we will jump back into the action. Maybe. There we go. So game one did go to Dakota, pretty decisive. But let's see what kind of sideboard and action Ed can get going here to maybe close that gap a little bit. Glenville says, Bryn here is a good matchup into a lot of the new meta decks, to be honest. The main board slot seemed worth it to me. Yeah, I don't disagree. I mean, Bryn here is real good card. Silence on a Stick. Pretty good. I mean, she even seemed really good in Origins, right? Like, when some of the most dominant decks are like Kaisa, Ari, you know, Annie, silencing your opponent for a turn is pretty strong. But Ed's going to mulligan here. Looks like he's burying one. Looks like he drew into a longsword. See if he has any action to go along with it. I'm sure he is on the play. Broke the Kaisa mirror pretty easily. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, a Kaisa or an Annie that draws their Bryn here into the other is pretty dominantly ahead. Scrapatron. I think that's what that card's called. Mechatron, Scrapatron. Adaptatron, that's it. When I conquer, you can kill gear. If you do, buff him. Yada, yada. But Ed had no turn one action. Hopefully, for his sake, he's got something to do here on turn two. Guess worst case is he drops the Lucian out of the champ zone. We're going to go 5-1. So I think we're probably looking at a Kaisa. And there she is. Can move in for a quick conquer. Does Ed remember his trigger? He does. We're passing it back to Dakota. A little mech going to go pick a fight with Kaisa, but Kaisa is tapped out. So yeah, that's going to be a pretty easy, any amount of interactions going to bury the Kaisa, tying us up 1-1. Adaptatron triggers, of course, but has no gear to target and thus cannot buff itself. Looks like Dakota's good to pass back. The green deck passing back with 5 runes available. Never feels good. Dakota's sitting on a flash. Plays down the oh, I can remember. I can do it. It's the hexproof guy. Ruin Runner. That's it. I got there eventually. I remembered eventually. Plays the Ruin Runner. But the Adaptatron pulled back, and we get the Irelia, green Irelia again coming down out of the champ zone. So Duquetta is setting up to repeat what happened last game. Just stacking that Irelia up, getting tons of interaction, readying her over and over, ganking over and over. There's the Bryn here. All right, Ed, what you got now? Bryn here is pretty strong. A little less so when you only got 2 runes and not a whole lot to do with it. Irelia getting picked out there. Before the runner moves in for a quick conquer, tying us up 2-2. Dakota's got plenty of runes, plenty of cards in hand. What are we going to do with it? I see a Lonely Poro. And then a bunch of dark purple cards that are impossible to read. I think the top card's a Discipline. Looks very dark. It must be foil. Adaptatron moves up. Discipline. Probably setting up for a... Oh, maybe not. I was going to say maybe setting up for a Ride the Wind or something, but looks like we're just going to ready it up for now. We got some Swifties or something. What are we doing with it? Just going to pull him back. Only Poro. And is good with that. Passes back to Ed, who's going to ready up. It's counting up some runes. Lucian. This is the orange Lucian. That's one that bounces in and out and readies over and over. Another challenge. Yeah, it's pretty stifled with these with all this. Well, not all this. It's really just one card, but with this Adaptatron just waiting to eat up all his gear. But it did have the not so fast. It chooses to hide a card. Oops. Ooh, sorry about that, everybody. I'm getting sick, unfortunately, which means I am occasionally having to mute the microphone for a coughing fit. So that's fun. The entire shop here got sick last week, and I thought I escaped it, but I think it finally got me. Which is not what I wanted to happen the day before the Turtles pre-release. That is going to make tomorrow very interesting. Well, Dakota's got the gear on lock, that's for sure, with the 2 Adaptatrons, but Ed's still kind of running away with it right now. And here's going to pull back. There's the Lucian signature. Or actually, is that his signature? I'm trying to remember. It's so confusing because you think of a lot of the cards in this game. Piercing Light is not his signature. You think about the name of a lot of the cards and you're like, oh, that's a Lucian ability from the game. That's his sig. It's like, no, it's not. It's just a card. But he does Piercing Light. So it's just deal 2 to a battlefield, 2 to one other, and then you can repeat it. So you can get rid of one of the Adaptatrons anyway. Interesting Ed chose not to dance as Lucian in and out there. Unless he already did, but I don't think he did. Been an interesting game so far. This has been a Lucian game from Ed with 0 equipment played. Ed just playing with a blank legend, effectively. But Swifty's coming down from Dakota. So we're going to go ahead and equip it. Use Irelia's ability to ready him. He's getting ready to move, I'd say. It's crazy to me Boots of Swiftness give +2 might. +2 might plus ganking. I think that's probably the league player in me. I'm like, the Boots of Swiftness give as much might as a longsword? What? Charming the Lucian. Oh, charming the Brynhild? I thought Dakota tapped the Lucian. Longsword. Dakota's probably thinking about, do I want to flash or do I want to fight this out? I think you kind of got to fight it out. Got to clear some of these units of Ed and get one of these battlefields locked down, or you are going to lose next turn. I'm going to ride the wind over. Say goodbye. The old double-edged sword on charm. You charm them in, things don't go your way, you hand them a victory point. On guard. Go ahead and reveal the Poro. Cleans them up pretty quick. That was a big mech there. 5-7. Yeah, and Dakota's getting ready to ride the wind back, I think. Gonna have to, or Ed's gonna win on the hold here. Oh, I guess he was ready. It doesn't even have to. Doesn't even have to ride the wind. You can just gank across with the Swifties. Dakota's gonna go for the trade, and probably pray that Ed doesn't draw into an accelerate unit here. Oh, but he has the first mate. This is going to be beautiful. Ed's going to conquer. Unless Dakota has something to do about it. Draws the card, draws the Kaisa. Whoo, baby. Go for the Kaisa. I was going to say you could pull the Lucian back first mate or just go for the bigger unit. And yep, Dakota's going to scoop it up. That was slick. Pretty cool exchange there. So Ed's going to take game 2. So close match so far. A couple cool games. Really interesting that Ed in game 1 had quite a bit of gear on his Lucian and lost the game pretty decisively. And then game 2, Ed didn't play any gear for like 8 turns on a Lucian deck and then won. Sometimes all you need is a blank legend, man. So cool game there. But we're going to be going to game 3. How much time we got left on the clock? Let's see. Oh, right. I can't see because our cameras, our new setup, for whatever reason, we lost our ability to see the floor cameras in the same way. I just haven't had Alex set it back up yet. It's not anyone's fault. It's just something I've forgotten to do. But we have 17 minutes left on the round, so decent amount of time. Might go to turns here, depending on how much of a grind this game is. But I'm glad we got a long match here for the first match of the night. Last couple weeks, it's been like round 1 has been like 2 quick 2-0s, and then it's like, well, thanks for joining us. Now it's time for 20 minutes of downtime between Swiss rounds. But we got, let's see here, messing my little boogie board for those curious. Little peek behind the scenes. This is how I when we're setting up the tournament at the beginning of the day, or not the beginning of the day, but when we're taking registrations and stuff, I write everybody down. I write down what decks they're running, and then this is how I pick our feature match every round, so I know what everybody's playing, and this keeps me from, not always, but usually keeps me from putting mirror matches and stuff on here, stuff that people don't really want to see. So anyway, that's boogie board for the win. So we got Ed already. So mark Ed off. We got Dakota. Mark Dakota off. I don't know if people saw, but it is a Fiora night here this week. We got Fiora. I don't know what's going on with Fiora tonight. No Azirs. We had 3 Azirs last week, and I guess after last week, everyone was like, "All right, everyone's playing Azir. I'm not going to play Azir," and then everyone decided to play Fiora. Also, I just blanked my boogie board, so downside to a boogie board. I just did that. So cool. Players are back to it though, so we'll jump back over. Looks like Dakota's getting us started turn 1. Is this double Sunken Ruins or whatever it's called? Sunken Temple? Sunken Temple's a WoW dungeon. That's not it. I think it's, oops, didn't mean to do that. Sorry, guys. I just bumped their score up. I don't even know if they noticed. Sunken Ruins? Oh, it is Sunken Temple. It is literally the WoW dungeon. Okay. When you conquer here with 1 or more mighty units, you can pay 1 to draw 1. So Dakota gets us going with some Swifties. Ed with a Lucian. I have an ugly card preview up because I'm bad at remembering to turn that off. Oh man, I'd kill for a stream deck in here. That would be awesome. Just turn those on with a quick hit of a button. I should really just buy one. Stream decks aren't expensive. I should just foot the bill and buy one, but that's all right. Lucian's going to dance out for passing back. Should all be familiar with her at this point. That's our Irelia. This is not the one Dakota's using, but it's the one that I quickly had up and available at my screen. So we'll show off the pretty one. The card is gorgeous. Dakota's going to tie us up 1-1. And charm the Lucian. Oof. That could be, yeah. Ed says, oof, yeah. That's going to be a pretty crippling setback for Ed this early. Trend Force goes back as a cleanup action. Thankfully, gear equipment is not destroyed when its unit is destroyed. So let's see what Ed can do here. Still is only 1-1. Losing all of your early game pressure, though, especially the orange Lucian that you're kind of building a strategy around with your Trinity Force and things, can be pretty brutal. Brutal loss early on, but might be able to spring back, see what he's got in hand. How about another Lucian? This time, the cool looking one. Show him off too. Do Ed's deck some service here. It's the cool, like, cowboy Lucian. Here comes all the gear. Gonna see an Adaptatron. Now Ed's got all the gear and Dakota's not drawing any of the gear removal. Cards giveth and the cards taketh. Irelia is +1. Obviously does get its +1 when she readies at the beginning of the turn during the awaken phase. Zonias. Hide a card before passing back to Ed, it looks like. Bryn here. Bryn here is pretty good when you're staring at hidden card. I mean, if you want to use it, you might as well flip the hidden card now with the Bryn here response on the stack, or the Bryn here ability on the stack. Hey, Dakota. You know that that's a trigger, right? What? The Bryn here? I'm reacting to it. Okay, I just want to make sure. Okay, cool. I was just making sure that Dakota knew that Bryn here is a trigger, so it can be reacted to. So if you're gonna cast spells, you got to do it right when the Bryn here comes down. I was wondering if Dakota was gonna, knowing that Dakota was gonna flip the hidden card, but guess not. The Irelia survives anyway, so pass back to Dakota. Readies. Gets the +1. Victory point, that is. There's a green card I don't know. Let's figure out what that is. That is Stellacorn Herder. Oh yeah, that's the move, draw one. Yeah, 3 might. 3 might for 4. Move and draw one. I don't know what they're laughing about, but something. Sabotage from Ed. For those that don't play here, don't know Ed, Ed is a great guy. Genuinely one of the friendliest, happiest people I've ever met. He's always laughing and smiling and positive and having a good time. Great guy, very infectious, like positivity. And he didn't I don't think he played much Riftbound in Origins, but he really dove into set 2. He's opened almost 2 cases of Spiritforged, has gotten most of his Origins collection complete. Yeah, he's really kind of hit the game hard here in set 2. So looking forward to having Ed on stream here in the future and having him join our Riftbound community. He plays lots of different games, Magic. I think he plays or played past tense Gundam, maybe. It's funny, we see a lot of our regulars so often, but then I think about it sometimes and I'm like, I don't actually remember which game this regular plays. Defiant Dance, hitting Green Irelia and I think the Lucian. I wasn't watching as Dakota kind of tapped the cards. Yeah, the Lucian. I think this is still all in response to the sabotage. So this is all with duress on the stack. That is a big Irelia. Yeah, crank her up. You're gonna need a couple more. Yeah. Good lord. Irelia is huge. Activate the Irelia legend. Ready the Irelia. Bump her up to 7 now. Good lord. Got a hard bargain, a discipline, and that one purple. I think it's purple Draven, right? I'm trying to remember what purple Draven does. Draven, I forget what his subtext is, but I think he's the one that like he's the score point. He's the point scoring one. It's like when you win a combat each turn. The first time you win a combat each turn, you score 1, and when he dies in combat, your opponent scores 1. So Ed's definitely not taking down that green Irelia this turn, that's for sure. She is massive. 7 plus her base might plus the equipment. I don't know what equipment she has on her, but Dakota's cards are shiny like that because it is reflecting the stream, the feature match table overhead lights. Those are just Dakota's cards. Dakota has LED cards. They're a super overnumbered card. A lot of people don't know about them. Just wait, dude. 20 years from now, we will have like digitalized cards. Longsword down on the Bryn here. He is going to go for it, even though that Irelia is massive. But I mean, I guess he did the math. Like the Irelia is as big as the Irelia is going to be. Dakota's tapped out, so Zonia's going to save. Those Swifties are still equipped. Dakota, those Swifties are still equipped. Yeah, it's a replacement effect for the death. So. All right, mild correction there. Just pointing out to Dakota real quick that Zonia's Guardian Angel, those are replacement effects for the death, though. So the unit never actually dies; they are just recalled. So they keep their equipment. Could be good, could be bad, depending on what you're trying to do. But in this instance, that Irelia does still have the Swifties equipped. Twin Force. Longsword. Good lord, that is a big Bryn here. Bryn here smash. Dakota's got a pretty impressive lead right now, but that Bryn here is a lot of might to overcome. Dakota's mostly gassed out in hand, so that green Irelia is not going to get super massive again right now. And that Bryn here is sitting on a Trinity Force, so let's see. Ed goes 4-5. Dakota goes 7. Ed goes 6-7. Dakota goes 8. Okay, so Ed still has to make a move on that other point. That Trinity Force is not enough to pass Dakota and win. Dakota's going to fight or flight backwards, draw a card off of the herder, whatever it's called. Not unicorn, but equivalent. What's that thing called again? Porticorn or something? What is it? A Stellacorn. Stellacorn herder. Only Poro. Got a Defy in hand. Looked like an On Guard. I can't quite see what else that is. Another Draven. But Dakota's going to pass. Dakota knows, I'm sure is watching the math and knows that if he just holds that point with the Stellacorn herder, that he will win by 1. Let's check our time real quick. Oh boy, that is time on round. I don't have a way. I forgot my microphone, so I don't have a way to call that right now. See how many players have reported. Hopefully they know that it's time in round. Though with their scores where they're at, unless we get some specific trades, they will, one of these two will win by turn 3. So I'm kind of irrelevant. Ed's just going to play the unaccelerated Kaisa and set up to try and take that point next turn. That is his only hope. Whereas Dakota's on the opposite plan of just having to hold that point. Dakota does need to give themselves the point for the turn. I guess I can do it for him. Boop. Dakota's actually going to force it. Going to flash and do some shenanigans here. Just to buff up that Irelia. Keep buffing up that Irelia. With the Stellacorn back. And here come the boys. It is effectively tapped out. So if Dakota can get over the top here, it is game over. That's probably going to be a, yep, I was going to say that's probably a Poro. Yep, going to defy. Yeah, what's the name of that card? It's like, I'm here to help or something. Or maybe it's just here to help, but just let you basically shin in a creature from hand for, I think, 3 less. But does get defied, so pretty good. And that will push Dakota to 8 and a GG. So GG's to Ed and Dakota. Congrats to Dakota for winning that one in 3. So Dakota 2-1 in round 1. Taking it in a close game. That was a good final game of that match. Game 1 was pretty dominant to Dakota. Game 2 was pretty dominant to Ed. And game 3 was, it was within 1 turn for either player. So hard to get much closer than that. So yeah, GG's to those players. And that has been time in the round. So we are going to go on a brief intermission here while I go and check on the other tables, make sure they know they're in time, get all the final results in, pair round 2, and then we will be back. So should be back starting round 2 here in 5 to 10. Thank you everybody for joining us here at Impact Gaming Center for Riftbound Nexus Nights every Thursday at 6 p.m. Central. If you like seeing Riftbound paper play content, large tournaments, diverse legends and metas here every week, make sure to toss us a follow on Twitch. Appreciate it. And if you are joining us on YouTube, go ahead and like, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff over there as well. It helps us out a lot, really does. Not just the thing content creators say, that kind of engagement actually does help a lot. So appreciate it from everybody. Thanks again once more. I'm Art from Impact Gaming Center. And whether I see you in the next round here in 5 to 10 minutes or I see you in the next video, thank you for joining us. Take it easy, stay safe, wash your hands, and don't forget to make an impact. Peace.